What is the crack, everyone? B2B Sports. We are back. Sam is here
Always.
as always. It's going to be a bit of a Euros special this week. Lots to talk about. The tournament starts on Friday, but we will probably delve into a bit of the other sports later on in the podcast. So if you're here for that, tune in a little bit later. But right now, let's get started. It is the Euros starting on Friday. Germany, Scotland to kick things off. Do you have a quick prediction on that game? Is Scotland getting battered?
I don't think they'll get. I think it's going to be
Okay,
2-0 Germany. I think
2-0
it's going to
Germany.
be. Well, I mean, Scotland, to be fair, have had a few injuries in training, which
Yeah, they
isn't
have. Yeah.
great when you're going into a tournament. Um, so I don't think they're going to be at their best anyway. And I think Germany at home in a major tournament is a recipe for success.
Mm,
Yeah, I wouldn't bet against the Germans at all.
not at all. Not at all. I'd have to agree. Probably a Germany 3-1 win. I'm gonna say.
Mhm.
But first things first. Southgate has picked his squad finally. They're on the plane. They're probably doing the first couple of training sessions now, actually. But are you happy with the squad selection that Southgate picked? There was a couple of players left out. Harry Maguire, Grealish got dropped out last minute. But yeah, on the whole, are you happy or are you a bit gutted?
Relatively, I think Maguire's a tough one. I think he's injured, so I don't think that was like a choice. If he was fit, I think he would have stayed. Um, I think we may. I think he's going to be our biggest struggle. Surprisingly, I think he's probably one of the best players for England when it comes to playing as a team. Um, so I think it's tough. I think Grealish makes sense at the end of the day. Just not played enough football. I think he does bring a lot, but I think if you play, we did this in the past. If you bring players in just because of how they used to perform or have performed in the past,
Mm.
you're going to run into problems. And I think that's been England's trouble with major tournaments is we pick players on past
Yep.
performances. Um, so I'm not. I don't think British being out is wrong. I think that's fine. Same with Madison. I think Duncan Branthwaite. I think I could have gone either way for me.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't think.
Yeah.
I think I would. I think I would have gone Branthwaite, but I think Duncan's at least played for England a bit more and probably a bit more experienced, and he probably wants that kind of same mentality as Maguire there, which I
Yeah.
think
True.
Dunk gives. I don't particularly think Dunk is good, so that's where my difficulty lies. I don't think he'll start.
No, I
Um,
mean we'll probably get onto it in a little bit, but England's defense is a little bit worrying. It's a little bit concerning, and
mm,
that sort of other centre back area is cause for concern a little bit. I think.
Definitely.
Obviously, you've got Stones that will solidify that other spot, but yeah, Maguire not being there is a bit of a big miss.
Yeah,
And it looks like Guehi's going to get that starting spot, but we are pretty thin. I think if anything happens to him,
yeah,
so
yeah. We're not helped ourselves with kind of our defensive picks. I think everyone's a bit shaky. Luke Shaw's. I mean, I think to be fair, I think he's probably made good ground. He could start at the weekend, and I think that'll be a big boost if we can get Stones and Shaw in.
yeah,
Then
definitely.
I think our defense is more short is more complete. If we then Shaw gets injured and we're having to play Trippier at left back or getting Gahey or even Duncan, I think we look a bit shaky.
Definitely.
Um, so it's difficult. I think our defense is our worst probably
Yeah,
that it has been for a while. Um, but just hopefully we score. If we score enough, we'll be fine.
that's the thing. Are we going to be able to outscore our opponent? I think that's what it's going to boil down to at the end of the day.
Hmm.
Um, Before we leave squad selection, do you think Rashford deserves a spot? I know on form he hasn't had the best of seasons, but if you're looking for directness and that purple patch that Marcus Rashford is usually known for, I don't know. I'm not feeling Gordon in an England shirt. I don't know why. There's something like
I don't like Anthony Gordon anyway. I don't think he'll play much in this Euros. So I think it was a poor choice to bring him. In terms of you might as well have brought Madison. to be honest, out of those two. Um, I think Rashford. I don't think he shouldn't. Obviously, can feel sad to get picked, but I don't think it's a surprise. I think again, you're thinking of these purple patches that he's had before, and he's had an awful season. Even when he started and played, he's not been as direct. He's not been as good. Same with Sterling. Sterling normally turns it on for England, but at the time he was playing really well for club
Yeah, yeah.
as well. So um, I don't think they should have got on it through past merit. Basically, I think
Okay.
there's
Well,
too much time in between these major tournaments where stuff happens, and we went through a time, like I said, in the 2000s where we picked the same team for these major tournaments with a few new players, and it never worked.
yeah, you're
And
right.
we're always telling him to bring up these new players, and this summer is probably the first time that Southgate has done it, particularly, and has picked a lot of youngsters who haven't proved themselves for England. And I think what better stage to do it than the Euros?
Exactly. And yeah, shout out Adam Wharton,
Mm,
Eze, players that, have really come up through the ranks this season in particular and earned themselves a spot. And I do have to, as much as I don't think Southgate is the right man for the England job. I do believe that picking players on form is probably the right way to go about it for a tournament. We've been there. We tried the tried and tested experienced players. It's not worked out. So why not go for the informed, young,
yeah,
youthful team that are just going to give it full beans? So yeah,
pretty
it's going to
much.
be interesting. It'll be an interesting tournament. England on paper are probably one of the best squads in the tournament. Are they going to be able to live up to that? We're going to quickly run
Yes.
through my tournament tree. Sam has got his predictions as well. We're probably going to chime in a little bit at the end. But I did the Telegraph tournament tree predictor kind of thing. And I'm going to quickly run through it now. And Sam is probably going to slate my picks left, right,
Oh God.
and centre. So Group A, Germany, number one, Hungary, number two, Scotland 3, Switzerland 4. I think Switzerland are gonna have an absolute shocker.
I don't think that's a bad shout. I think swapping Hungary and Switzerland around for me,
Okay, yeah.
because I think Switzerland have had a decent run in their international friendlies and they're looking quite good. But I think you could kind of switch any of those three round
Mm. It's gonna be
because it
close. It's
just
gonna be close for that second
yeah,
spot, I think. It's gonna be
I think
competitive.
Germany should quite easily come out
Yeah.
of that group. Um, I mean, their group performance haven't been great, but yeah, I think that I'm quite happy with that prediction.
Group B, Spain top, Italy second, Croatia third, Albania fourth.
Probably the group of death of this championship. Um, I don't know whether to be controversial. I mean, there were some people thinking that like Spain is just going to bottle it. Croatia top, Spain second,
Wow. I
Italy
think
third, kind of thing.
Is Croatia had their time though? Have they had their time?
Exactly.
I know Luka Modric and Kovacic can still kick ball, but I don't know. Have they had their time? So
Probably likely, and they probably are right in saying it's probably Spain, Italy, Croatia, and the other
Albania,
one.
yeah. Group C, gotta go England. Come on, up the three lines.
Oh yeah,
So I'll put
9 points.
Serbia second. I think they're gonna be difficult. I think they're gonna be hard to break down. Um,
Mm,
Denmark third, Slovenia fourth. I think probably everyone has Slovenia fourth, I would imagine. But
probably.
Denmark and Serbia is probably interchangeable between the two.
I think I'd have Denmark second for me.
Okay. Fairs. Group D, France top, Netherlands second, Austria third, and Poland fourth.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's what I would go for as well. Yeah, I think Netherlands and France are going to be too good.
Group E, I've gone for a bit of a shock. I've gone Ukraine top the group. I think they've got a couple of ballers on there. And I think it's going to be a competitive group. Don't get me wrong. But again, the same reasoning that I've given Croatia, I think Belgium have passed it a little bit. I think
Mm.
they can obviously they've got a lot of players coming. I think they've got Doku and a lot of players coming up. But I think we've seen the best of Belgium for a little while anyway. So I'm going to go Ukraine top, Belgium second, Slovakia third, and Romania fourth.
I don't think anyone Belgium don't finish top of that group.
Do you reckon? Do you reckon it's nailed on?
It has to be. If Belgium don't, like, they need to. I think they're ranked third in the world.
Yeah,
Belgium at the
they're still
moment.
high up. They're still up there. Yeah, they're still up there, I think.
Like they're the biggest underachievers. I know that. I mean, that's coming from an England fan.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Belgium finished top of that group.
Also, shout out Romania as well. For those you don't know, that we used to play in Romania kits back in the five-a-side days. So,
Oh yeah,
although I've got Romania at the bottom of the group, it'd be good to see the boys
oh yeah. I'll give it
playing
back
it.
out the Romania shirt for
I don't know where
uh,
it is. I'll have to try and
not a
fish it
clue.
out somewhere. And the last group, Group F, Portugal top, Czech Republic second, Turkey third, and Georgia fourth. Fair?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Third
This
place
this, this
ranking.
is my this is my main pet peeve in terms of this tournament being a 2014 tournament. Doesn't make sense.
No, he's a little bit odd. I can't lie.
Going from 24 teams playing however many matches, 30 odd matches, just to whittle that down to 16 teams. Like that makes no sense. What's the point? Like there's no jeopardy really. You can finish third quite poorly and
And
get
still,
through to the next
yeah,
round.
still comfortably being, yeah.
So the groups aren't as it's not as fraught with. I mean, if we draw our first game, we still got a good chance of getting through. And it's even if we lose our first game, but we come up with 6 points at the end, that's a
Exactly.
good amount of points.
Yeah.
So I think you need a 30 you need a 32 team system. But yeah, carry on.
There you go, Sam ran. Sam's ran over. Third place rankings. I'm just going to quickly fly through these. Croatia top, Denmark second, Scotland third, Austria fourth, Turkey fifth, Slovakia sixth. So yeah, Croatia, I think, have still got a bit about them. Denmark also. Scotland have got a bit of fight, and Austria have still got a couple of ballers in there as well.
Yeah,
Um, so round of 16, that is Germany, Serbia. There's only one winner there,
Germany.
of course.
Yeah,
That is Hungary, Italy, Italy for me.
yeah.
Spain, Scotland. Sorry, Scotland, you're getting
Scotland.
binned.
What? No idea.
You're getting Spain.
Combat.
England, Austria. England
I'm just
should.
saying Scotland beat Spain in the qualifying,
Are you actually? Okay, nice one.
beat
Yeah,
them 2-0.
that is
Scott McTominay scoring two.
that's tough. That is tough. But yeah, England beat Austria, Portugal to beat Denmark, Netherlands to beat Belgium, Ukraine to beat Croatia. So
Ooh,
Ukraine to go on a bit of a
we're
run.
loving this Ukraine.
Yeah, and then France to beat Czech Republic. Quarterfinals. This is where it gets proper tasty. Germany, Spain quarters.
Germany.
Yeah, Germany. If you'd given me that 10 years ago, obviously Spain all day long, but Spain are on a little bit of a decline at the minute. But yeah, Germany for me, Portugal, Netherlands, Portugal, Ukraine, France. This is where the crane like hype train stops in its
Yeah, I don't
tracks.
think we can get past France there.
England, Italy, and England are going to redeem themselves after that final few years ago now.
I
And
rate that.
Germany, Portugal semi. I'm going Portugal. I'm going Portugal to beat Germany
Oh
in the
my
semis.
word!
I think they've got a really strong team, and Ronaldo's just going to pop up. He's going to be the big man again. And then France,
That's,
England. It's
but
France. France going to win.
oh, that's disgusting.
France going to win.
Why have you done that?
I'm trying to really
What?
be
Take
real.
that shirt off.
I'm, tr- I'm trying to really be real here, and we got beat by Iceland, and I just don't think we have the players, but I'm worried that we don't have the manager.
I mean,
So
what do you
yeah,
mean you're worried about the manager? We got to the final of the Euros last time around.
come on, everything's so
Semi-final of a World
slow
Cup.
and just I don't know, I
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
that's all. That's all. It comes around all the time. Every European qualifying, World Cup qualifying, friendlies, everything is always slow. Everything is always looking shit, and then we play really well in a major tournament like this. And Southgate, I think, has come out and said he doesn't even expect to be in the job after this tournament, win or lose.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
this is his last hurrah. Like he's not gonna
it's,
play it safe.
again, I just think that's a weird comment to make at this point in time. I just think I mean, you're not Klopp. You're not gonna by saying you're leaving, you're not gonna get a reaction out of the players. I just think
Maybe
it's
he
a
will.
I don't know. I just think it's a weird thing to say going into the tournament. Keep it under wraps and announce it afterwards. But yeah, I don't know. I've never really been on the Southgate hype train, to be honest. Um, I've backed him, and then until we lose, then it's
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Straight down the other end. I think you're being too harsh.
Well,
You're
I'm
enjoying the
hoping.
highs and not taking it at the lows. Come on.
Yeah, I hope I'm wrong. I hope we do beat France, but realistically, I don't know. And then Portugal France final, France to win. Um, what are your thoughts? What are your sort of predictions going into sort of the quarters and semis? You got any big results going on, or what's
I
your
think at the end of the
the
day, I
winner?
think I had like same. I think of France and England semi. England winning for England winning. I had Germany getting to the final as well. I had England Germany final,
That'd be a cracking final.
um, which would
Actually,
be insane. Um, yeah, not too much different. I don't think Ukraine are going to do as well as you think. I think Croatia are going to do as well as them. I
mm.
hope Georgia get a result.
Yeah,
I would just like that.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, not too much different. I think it does tie in for quite a few big like quarterfinals and semis
hmm
this way around. But I think there's going to be one of the big teams finishing third at some point, and
yeah. It's gonna have to be.
one big team finishing third and one big team missing out. I don't know who it will be. I think at the moment either Italy or possibly the Netherlands.
Mm. I mean, I never really rate Netherlands in recent years. I haven't anyway, but they always seem to just do
Turn it
enough.
on. Yeah,
They seem to just get through to the quarters or whatever. That game against Argentina in the World Cup a couple of years ago, like where did that performance come from? Like they were,
yeah.
they competed with
Wow, wake forest.
yeah, like where yeah, exactly. That game was crazy. So I do think they have it in them to produce a couple of surprise performances. But I think you're right. I think maybe in the round of 16, we could see like a surprise result. Maybe like a
Mm,
Ukraine or I don't know, Denmark, Switzerland, or one of these teams that can beat the big boys to sort of pull up a surprise result.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm super excited for this tournament. It should be really, really interesting. Um, can you predict a starting 11 for England against Serbia? Quickly fly through. Obviously, we're going
Oh,
to go
I
Pickford in
think
goal. Pickford in goal is
Pickford in
standard.
goal.
But then where do you
I
go from
think.
here? You choose. You choose your starting
Oh
11.
God, that's hard. I think you've got to have. I'm trying to think. You do go three at the back. So have
That's
a
the
like a Stones, Walker, and Gahey three at the back, and then just in front of them you'll have Rice,
Yep.
um, and then you'll have Shaw on the left. Do you have Shaw on the left? Yeah, Shaw on the left, Trent on the right.
Mm.
So three, and then you've got. I mean, I'll put in there probably Mainu
Wow,
just in
you're
front.
picking Mainoo straight off the bat
Yeah, probably pick it Mainu, and then having Foden and Saka on the wings and Kane up front.
in the top.
I think at the end of the day, I think you've got to have Foden and Saka playing.
No Bellingham. You're not going to have Bellingham in your starting 11.
I suppose you could, yeah, you could put,
Get rid of
so
Mainu.
Bellingham
Come
went,
on. Get rid of
yeah,
Mainu.
Bellingham for Mainu.
Take that
Sorry,
Man United hat off.
that's an awful take. Yeah, what have I done there? Yeah, no, Bellingham for Mainu there. Bellingham didn't even come into my head then. That was awful. I think because he didn't play any of the friendlies because he obviously just won the Champions League. But,
Yeah. I mean, this is really exciting about England this time around because you have got so many options in that sort of up midfield sort of winger area. I would love to see Cole Palmer in the starting 11 against Serbia, but I don't think it's going to happen. Same with Shaw.
Cole Palmer, I think that's a good shout. I think he could. I think him and Bellingham could do a swap. But Palmer in the game against Iceland was the best player, but was also shit.
Yeah, everyone was shit. I mean,
so he should have scored a couple, and tough.
Yeah. For me, I'd play a back four. I would have Shaw as a left back, but I don't think he's going to be fit enough for the starting game. So in an ideal world, Shaw. Realistically, I think Trippier is going to start left back. I would have Kyle Walker right back, and I'd have Stones and Gahey in the centre back pairing. I'm hearing massive rumours that Trent is going to start. But personally, I wouldn't choose him to start. I'd have Rice.
I'd only start him in a wing back, not in a midfield specifically.
No, I'd have Rice. Again, ideal world, I'd have Rice, Palmer, and Bellingham. But realistically, I think it actually could be Rice, Wharton, Bellingham.
Yeah, I think Wharton's a good shout, to be fair.
And then obviously the front three really picks itself at the minute: Foden, Saka, and Kane. It's gonna be interesting. I'm super excited. Super excited. Sam did a what do you call it? A sweepstake, if you will.
Sweepstake draw
with the corridor of uncertainty, lads. If I have the time, I'll clip up a little bit and put it in the video now.
Welcome to the Euro 2024 sweepstake. Got all the bowls, got myself, Ollie, Luke, Ben. I've got our names in the hat there. I've got the names of the teams. All easily done. Took me ages to do this, and some technical difficulties. We've got the show on the road. So, first name out of the hat is myself. First name out of here is Belgium. I'm former world number ones. Again, that was a while back, and I don't think they're at their heights at the moment. Next is Ollie. Let's have a look what Ollie gets this time. Ollie was a good start. England. He's going to love that. Tournament favourites, I think. Ollie is next up. Denmark. Good team. Semi-finalists last time. Beaten by Ollie's other team, England. Next up is Luke. Let's have a look. Spain. Good start for Luke there. Good start. Haven't featured too heavily in the last few Euros. They haven't been out of sorts, but the last few run of results have been pretty good. So they could be back on it. Luke again. Let's have a look. What are we getting from Luke here? Turkey. I think Luke has a Turkey shirt from when Turkey did him dirty at the World Cup. But so good memories. Next up is Ben's first team. Let's have a look. It is Switzerland. Again, can play really well. Did really well against, beat France, I think, on penalties at one point in the last Euros, maybe. So underdogs. Luke again. Luke's third team. He's now halfway through this. Current holders. who are a bit indifferent sometimes. They sometimes hit it, sometimes don't. Ollie there. Only to go halfway into his teams. And he has the Czech Republic. Not seen much too much of them recently. Former years used to be great, taking the Netherlands, beating them I think. But next up, Luke. Look, and it is the Netherlands. So Luke having a very good run. Spain, Italy and the Netherlands all for Luke there. He's going to thank me after this. Ben next. Why have I not picked my name again? Just me and Ben have been set on like 0. The mighty Scotland. Team of the people. I think. I have to say that I'm being held hostage in Scotland. Luke next again. Luke with his second to last pick. If he gets another good one like this, I think Luke's going to absolutely blitz us. He gets Croatia. World Cup runners up. Couple of World Cups ago. Next up is me for my second team. Not many big ones left in this really. I'd say Germany still haven't been picked. Probably the biggest one left. And Portugal. Portugal is another underdogs. Ronaldo possibly could be his last major tournament. Luke. Picking Luke's last team for Luke is the mighty Ukraine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's the last one. I couldn't find the other one. So that's Luke all done there, but I think he will be probably the happiest out of anyone by the end of this, because he has 3 big teams in that. I don't see all 3 of them failing particularly. Ollie next. Ollie's also got decent teams. He will have Serbia. Right, me and Ben are slowly lacking behind on teams here, and there's not many teams left. Ollie next for his second to last team. That will be Slovenia. So there's just got to be a lot of Bens and me in this pot now, because it's just last 2 races. So my name, Sam. I do remember it. I will have Romania. Jesus Christ. That's a potential last place one for me. Ben, and the next one here. We'll be hoping for a slightly bigger dog here. He gets it in Albania. Okay, still waiting for Ollie's last here as well. But it's Ben. Oh, he pulls it out of the bag for the France. Big one there. That's me next. Drop it there. It's going to be Slovakia. Lovely. Again, there's a poor one there. So 4 teams each. 4 teams. 5 teams to go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. It's me next for my second to last team. And that will be Poland. Again, probably underdogs. Not the highest of chances. Ollie's last team. I don't know if there's any big ones left really. Minnows, Georgia. I think that's what everyone's got their finger on for coming last, so I think Ollie's got the favourites and probably the least favourites. Ben for his second to last team. That will be Mighty Austria. Right, 2 names left. I still think there's a Germany in there. I don't know who the other team is. And it's Ben next. So I imagine this will probably be Germany, kids. 50-50. unfortunately, this is Hungary. Hungary there. So last name out of the hat should, if I've done the maths right, be myself. It is indeed. And the last team out of the hat should be Germany. And it is. Perfect. So that concludes our teams there. So for Ben, he has Albania, Hungary, Austria, Scotland, Switzerland, and the mighty France. So one of the favourites in there. Bit of a mixed bunch. Probably be happy with France, but maybe not so happy with others. Luke, we have Croatia, Turkey, Ukraine, Netherlands, Italy, and Spain. 3 big ones. Got the current holders, Spain are on the up and coming. Netherlands always look dangerous. I think Luke's going to be the one to beat, and his other teams aren't particularly bad either. With Croatia, Turkey, and Ukraine all being relatively good, I think he may be safe from last place and possibly get first place at this point. Only we have Denmark, Serbia, Czech Republic, Georgia, Slovenia, and England. So, like I said, number 1 team and possibly the last team with Georgia there with in their first Euros. Bit of a lucky one to get through. And for myself, Poland, Romania, Slovakia, Belgium, Portugal, and Germany. Mixed bag. Germany, Portugal, Belgium, quite happy with. The other ones could finish last. So that concludes our sweepstake. Good luck, everybody. Come on, England.
I've got England, so I'll take that. But that's my only team, really.
Yeah. I did it as fairly as I could. Proper Champions League style. You do have the best team going, but you also have the worst team going. So you could win the money, but also have to buy the shirt with that money.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Which would be hilarious. Because the Georgia shirt's like 75 quid.
Yeah. You said that, didn't you, afterwards? You're like, the Georgia shirt actually isn't that bad, but
yeah,
a lot of the Euro shirts are going to be a bit pricey, I think. So
I got quite a juicy one, to be fair. I got Germany, Portugal, and Belgium.
Hasty. I'm sensing,
and then Poland, Romania, and Slovakia. So
a little bit of a suspect.
I don't know what you're talking about. I honestly thought when I was picking that I was going to pick the 6 best teams for Luke at that point. But his other 3 aren't even that bad. He got Croatia, Turkey, and Ukraine, who you think are going to get to the quarter.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I mean, you got Denmark. Yes, Serbia, Czech Republic, Slovenia, and Georgia are not the best.
No, Georgia's definitely not the one, for sure. I'll take
But then
England.
Ben's got France. Ben's got the same as you, basically. You've both got the 2 favourites to win the whole thing, and the rest of them are pretty shit.
Yeah.
Whereas me and Luke can kind of hedge our bets. We've got good teams, but none of them are favourites.
It was a good draw, to be fair. Very professional, Sam, if I may say so myself. Got all the bowls out.
Oh yeah.
So it was very good, very good. But that's the sweepstake. Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of money involved, and there's going to be probably a forfeit for the worst team in a tournament. So the team that obviously doesn't win any games and then has the worst goal difference. So I think Luke has been a little bit unlucky in previous years, picking up. I think he picked up Turkey and he picked up the Qatar kit as well. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes on. To round up Euro 2024, we are doing a little bit of a fantasy football league. I'll put the code on the screen now if you want to join our joint league with the Corridor lads. They set it up this year. But yeah, any big names in your fantasy team? Anything to shout about?
I mean,
confident.
My team's looking pretty good.
I may say it was tough. It was tough to create this for me. I really struggled. I just didn't have enough money for a last defender, and I was like, do I just go all out on the starting 11 and just have shockers on the subs bench, because how it works in the European competition. So yeah, go for it, mate. Go for it.
I've got Harry Kane and Mbappe up front.
I think that's got to be. It's a must. I think.
We've then got De Bruyne, Modric, Ericsson, Pascal Gross, and Gundogan in my
Gundogan.
midfield. And then I've got Darmian, Daley Blind, and Attila Salai from Hungary. And then my bench is awful.
So you've blown all your money on your starting 11. Rightly so.
Pretty much.
Rightly so. Yeah, I think my phone's helping me record, so I can't pick up my team at the minute. But I'll put them on screen, both mine and Sam's teams on screen. But I've definitely got Kane and Mbappe. I've got Mitrovic as the third striker, which was a little bit of money. I can't lie. I think he was like 7 in the end. It could have gone a little bit cheaper, but I think you're expecting to pick up a goal or two. Hopefully, I've gone for Saka. I've gone for Bruno Fernandes because I think Portugal are going to have a bit of a standout tournament. I've gone for who've gone for who's the Arsenal left back that's Ukrainian? It's gone completely out of my head.
Zinchenko.
Zinchenko. He plays in midfield for Ukraine, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Who else have I gone for? I've gone for Stones. No, I've actually gone for Trent in defence. I've gone for the Portuguese goalkeeper. I've gone for Dallo. Yeah, and a couple of others. So I've spent pretty big. I've got a couple of people on the bench, but not really of note. Got Schlober. Well, I can never pronounce his name as well. The Liverpool midfielder, Schloboschlei. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Again, it's going to be a difficult one to predict, and Euros fantasy always brings up a few surprises. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, let us know who is the best team in the comments. We move away from Euros now. It was Soccerade at the weekend. Do you have any thoughts and opinions on Soccerade, or did you watch it? Or?
That was a bit boring.
Yeah,
I have to admit. I think Soccerade started going downhill when the rest of the world players started to be just English players.
100%.
At the end of the day, I think they got too much into it. I think, in terms of the rest of the world squads and their like legends, they always have good legends.
Mm.
The rest of the world, like they had Hazard, who isn't long off retiring. They had a second amount of legends. The English legends aren't quite there. I'd have to say. I think Robbie Keane just there because he just loves football.
Yeah,
just wants to score goals.
Yeah, he always there.
So our legends, I don't think pack up to their legends. And I don't know, just it felt like the legends just wanted to play a game of football themselves as well at some point.
Yeah, I was getting that general consensus on socials and stuff that legends were passing to legends, and there's too many YouTubers, influencers bring back the days of like actors when you had like Woody Harrelson and stuff, like taking a penalty when he didn't even know how to take a penalty.
Know what penalty is.
And that kind of thing. So I do get that. And I do 100% agree with you that why is the rest of the world being filled with people that were born in England? That just doesn't make any sense to me at all. Is it because they didn't have enough celebs or pros to fill the squads? Well, I don't know. There's no reason why Theo Baker, from pitch side, should be playing for the rest of the world. It doesn't make any sense to me. Neither Tommy Fury either. But yeah, I didn't watch it.
I have nothing against like the YouTubers and stuff playing. I think at the end of the day, that's not the end of the world. I think the best YouTuber that was there was it Mini Minter, and he'd haven't even got a kick of the ball. So
that annoys me though. Either play them or don't. That's you know what I mean. Like he's a good player. He's a really really good player. But you only got like 15 minutes. Like
and they never passed them the ball.
Yeah, it was a weird one. But also, I'm surprised you've not brought it up already. That Stamford Bridge pitch
was awful.
Horrendous.
That was the worst pitch, I think, and that was just so bad. And it's not long after the season ended, and you know Soccer Aid's coming.
Yeah.
Just look after the pitch. But honestly, that was the worst pitch I think I've seen. That's a non-league pitch.
Yeah, it was atrocious. I can't lie. Even I turned the game on, and I was watching Hazard take his free kick, which I'm not going to try and get too excited about. But I love the bloke.
It was the worst free kick in the world.
It was yeah.
It was basically a P roller through the air.
Yeah. But yeah, I was watching them take that free kick, and I was like, "Why is the pitch just full of sand? Like, why? What is going on?" Yeah, not great to be honest. When the UK's eyes are on the Stamford Bridge pitch, but it's nice to see Frank Lampard back. We're ending the rumours now of any sort of Chelsea comeback. I know he won with England for the first time in a while, but it's not happening. It's not happening. But yeah, I just wanted to get your
It's his
thoughts.
first win at Stamford Bridge for quite a long time.
Yeah, sound. Also, it was a bit strange as well. Poch coming back as well to Stamford Bridge as well. Must have been a bit weird.
It's very awkward.
Must have been. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up football. We're going to move on to Cricket World Cup now because England are in trouble, mate. England are in serious trouble.
Serious trouble. I mean, only the top two teams in the group qualify, and currently we have lost one poorly against Australia, and also had a no result against Scotland. And then Scotland went out and scored 150 runs in 13 overs to win their game. So their net run rate is massive.
Also, sorry to keep you off as well, like the Scotland game that was called a no result, Scotland were flying. Scotland would go in at a rate. So even if that game went ahead,
like no loss.
Yeah, it was crazy. So even if that game continued, there was no guarantee that England were going to win that game anyway. But yeah, sorry, mate. Yeah, carry on. So
yeah, and so the only way we get in is if Scotland happen to lose both their next games, but also have to lose massively. Like Australia need to batter them, which in the way Scotland are playing, I don't see it happening. But because it's Australia, it definitely could happen.
Here's a possibility.
And we just have to batter Oman and who is it? Namibia?
Namibia, I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah, we just have to really batter them. Like either bat first and score 200 and bowl them out for 80. Because there's been a few of those. I think there's one where your team got bowled out for like 35.
Yeah.
Chase. So if we can do that a couple of times, and then that run rate's good. But if Scotland somehow get a result against any of them, we're in serious trouble.
I mean, to be fair, you say that bowling a team out for a low score, but that's the area in particular where England have probably disappointed me the most. Their bowling, runs are getting scored off us like, tomorrow, man. It's crazy. Like, it seems like Mark Wood and Jofra Archer, the batsmen are just using their pace and knocking him about all over the gaff. Like, Rashid is not bowling up to his standards. He's going for a ton off his overs, and I don't know. It just seems to me that the bowling attack that we had on paper is not the bowling attack that we're seeing on TV. It just seems not living up to the hype. So yeah, it's just crazy. England are in a real spot of bother, but it does seem to me that this has been a team of sort of underdogs so far. Almost, there's been a couple of surprise results. USA beat Pakistan, which was crazy.
It's insane. USA are going to get through, and fair play to them.
Yeah, fair play
to them. Hosting it, first time I think USA have ever watched cricket, and they're doing what we can't do as the holders. So
exactly. I mean, we are enjoying the sort of Americans trying to get to grips with cricket, aren't we? The whole sort of baseballers can do this. I think.
Yeah, those Twitter people are just ridiculous. Saying like, they keep showing pictures of or videos of like baseball players doing like catching the ball with the bare hand, and like
Yeah.
cricketers do that all the time,
Yeah.
and also do it with a ball that's rock solid.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it makes me laugh.
And like, yeah, outfielders throwing the ball to the guy at first base or something where, if they see a direct run out, then they'll probably lose their minds in cricket. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
just, and then you've got the guy that's the steward or the guy that was running that bowling activity that was teaching Dale Steyn how to bowl and just not
yeah.
having a clue who he was. Like,
I thought that was great. I think Dale Steyn is quite good for just playing along and not
yeah,
really having
yeah,
to
he's
hang
up
out.
for it, man. He's up for it.
But I like the comments afterwards, like when Dale Steyn was doing some commentary, and people were saying, "Oh, the USA don't know how to run a Rugby World Cup. They've got somebody who doesn't even know how to bowl." Commentating. He literally learned how to bowl yesterday.
But yeah, it's a after a little bit of a slow start, is turning into a pretty exciting World Cup. I just hope for a miracle that England can get through. The New York pitch is horrendous, but it's providing for
Mm.
some entertaining games. I can't lie.
Yeah, low
Low
scoring
scoring
games.
games.
Pakistan just won a game by they only needed 103. I think they
Yeah,
scored
really.
107 against Canada. Yeah, so some very low scoring games, which are actually quite fun to watch
Yeah,
sometimes.
exactly. Would you still say that India are the favourites? India look pretty good at the minute. They're looking pretty comfortable.
I think India, yeah, I think they're probably the most comfy, although they didn't do too great against Pakistan. They should have lost that game.
I
They had to
didn't
defend
see
like
it. I know they won in a narrow sort of victory almost, but
yeah, they were defending like 115,
mm,
and yeah, they only just did it in the end. And they should have lost that game, but Pakistan just crumbled. I think at the moment every team is a bit like that. I think Scotland's probably the most consistent, along with the USA. Um, the South Africa have somehow won their games. They're either bowled out for a really low score, but then bowling their opponents out, or they had to get like 103 and they were 19 for 4 at one point, but still managed to win. So South Africa, I don't understand what their game is, but it's exciting. So yeah, I can't call it, to be honest.
yeah. To me, I think the two teams that stand out maybe are India and Australia, but
Mm,
it's looking to me this tournament's looking like anyone can beat anyone more than I have seen before.
yeah,
Maybe that's the conditions, maybe that's teams improving. I don't know, but yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting, and
yeah,
I just know that Pakistan are going to get through to the knockout stage. I just know it because they lost their first two games. They just win their next. They've already won. They beat Canada yesterday. They just win another one. They're pretty much through.
mm,
I think they. So yeah, and they did that last tournament and ended up getting to the final against England. So I wouldn't
yeah.
wouldn't put it past them doing that again. But yeah, exciting tournament.
I think
Um,
it's good with like an expanded World Cup as well. Having more
yeah,
teams in it is a good thing.
100%, 100%. Um, the Vitality Blast is on right now as well. I'm keeping a keen eye on the Steelbacks because they've got off to a good start at the minute, or a lot better than you usually do.
Yeah, I was gonna
Anyway,
say,
yeah. So yeah, I'm interested on that. But it's the same team, Somerset and Yorkshire, just seem to be just
yeah,
smashing it every single sort of year that I watch. Okay, we'll keep an eye on the Vitality Blast, but yeah. Um, NFL. It's been announced that Christian McCaffrey is the cover star of Madden, the new Madden game.
oh,
So, which is pretty cool. But there's a bit of
yeah.
I don't know if you've heard, there's a Madden curse that
Yes,
if you're the star, you have a bit of a stinker. So,
yeah.
um,
The only person to break that curse can break.
of course, the GOAT,
Just
man.
been out there.
The GOAT.
Can't remember what year it is, but he broke it. Pretty sure he did. Um, yeah, pretty bad curse. And
Yeah.
quite often that they have like a season-ending injury or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Joe Burrow was on it and he like broke his hand.
Yeah. Nasty. Justin Jefferson finally signs a contract extension with the Vikings. You can put all them rumors to him going to the Bengals to bed.
Sweating.
He's not going to be another Stephon Diggs. He's not going to throw it at a tantrum. But yeah, we've locked him down. Absolutely buzzing. He got paid big money as well. I think he was the highest paid non-QB ever in history.
Wow.
I don't know what his actual total figures were in the end, but yeah, rightly got paid. Do you reckon? Did he deserve it?
Oh yeah, definitely. He's definitely the best wide receiver in the league. They did put his stats up next to Randy Moss, and they weren't too dissimilar, except from the touchdowns, which is insane. At this
Randy
point,
Moss
I
has
think
loads.
Randy Moss had 50 touchdowns or
Hooray.
over 50. He pretty much had a touchdown every 2 or 3 touches.
It was nuts. I
Which
still
is
remember
insane.
it's like a game that he played on Thanksgiving where he had like I think it was close to 200 yards, 3 receptions, and like
Yeah,
3 TDs or something, 2 TDs. I was like, what the hell, man?
yeah,
They must have just launched that football and he must have just picked it up and scored a touchdown like every
pretty
single
much.
time.
And I think if Randy Moss was in the league now, he'd be on insane money.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
but yeah, I think Jefferson deserves it. I think it's good for the Vikings fan base that he did decide to just sign. I think it's put everyone's mind at ease.
Rest,
Because yeah, that's just stressful.
too
But
much.
yeah,
And
pretty
then
good.
to top it off, the Steelers have signed Mike Tomlin over the past day or two. I think it is to a 3-year contract extension. You know, we've talked about him before. He always gets the Steelers in the playoffs, no matter what. You know, he's probably one of the longest serving coaches, I think, in the league, I'd imagine as well.
I think he might be it now.
I mean, ever since I've been watching the NFL, I think he's been the Steelers head coach. So
Yeah.
yeah, but fair play, got that bag as well. And yeah, that pretty much wraps up NFL. Unless you've got anything to share.
No, not particularly.
No, cool. F1. It was Canada Grand Prix and the Montreal Grand Prix at the weekend. It was a pretty exciting race, to be honest. I can't lie. The rain caused a bit of havoc. Albon did a crazy double overtake. I don't know if you saw that. That was pretty sick. Again, confirming to me, Logan Sargent is just not F1 material. The quicker he needs to get out of Williams, I'm sorry. He's quickly becoming the new Latifi, and you don't want that title.
Yeah. Well, there was a good stat that I think he's never beaten Albon in qualifying, never out-qualified him, but he's out-qualified Perez 3 times.
That is a hell of a stat. I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Insane.
Oh, mate, Perez. Let's get on to Perez. They've literally just before Canada.
What secret does he know at Red Bull?
Yeah, what does he know? He's got some dirt on like everyone.
Yeah, what's he holding on to? Because
mate,
the fact he's still there.
Mate, he signed a 2-year deal with Red Bull just prior to Canada. And again, yeah, an absolute shocker. Goes out in Q1. Just has a stinker in the
drags
race.
around a dangerous car.
Yeah, I don't. To be fair, that's probably more up the team. Yeah, it's probably more on the team.
He probably couldn't see it.
But he's got a 3-place grid penalty for next race because of that.
Yeah.
So the team's shafting him. He's shafting himself. It's not good, man. It's really not good. I mean, what do Red Bull do? Like they've signed him to 2-year deal. I know Red Bull they're pretty cutthroat anyway, but you can't. You've got to at least stick him out for another year at least because he's just signed a new deal. Surely they're not going to consider cutting him anytime soon. Surely
I can't see it. No, not after signing that. And I think they shot themselves in the foot there. Like, obviously, I don't know whether they're scared of bringing somebody in who is better than Perez in order to be in that car, and that may force Verstappen out at some point. Where they're just trying to protect Verstappen. I don't know, but it was a weird decision. But I suppose at the end of the day, like, who are they going to get at this point? With, I mean, obviously, Science. I think it's probably the best
Science
one,
is the obvious one, like to me.
Yeah,
but maybe there's something logistically legally wise that it just couldn't happen. I don't know, but that just seems like the one that
I can't see a place where Carlos Sainz is not an F1 next year.
it's weird. Like, where's he going to end up? He's going to end up Williams at this rate. Like, it's
I know.
crazy.
That would be so bad. Like McLaren aren't going to take him back because they've got two great drivers now. Piastri is actually living up to the hype.
Yeah.
Um, obviously, Mercedes. Can he still go to Mercedes?
He's still, but I think the big rumor is, I think the reason why it's cooled down on Mercedes is because I really think they're going to go and try and get Kimi Antonelli. I
Oh
think
yeah, I
they're
love him,
trying to
don't
do
they?
a project driver like Red Bull did with Verstappen, sign him early, lock him down, give him the seat, and then he's yours, isn't he? If he turns into a future star, then
Mm,
I think that's why it's gone quiet in the Mercedes front. But mate, you can't have a driver like Sainz driving for a team like Williams. If Williams is still like this next season, that is. So
yeah, no, that's mad. Absolutely mad if he's not in F1 next year.
it's crazy. When you've got Perez there as well, it doesn't make any sense to me.
No.
Um, Interesting to know your thoughts as well. Do you think F1 is closing the gap a little bit? The rest of the pack is closing the gap on Red Bull. Is there going to be a potential title challenge as we get into the second half of the season after the summer break, do you reckon? Because Ferrari
I
and
don't.
McLaren aren't that far behind at all.
No, they're not. To be honest, I think the only problem is that there's not a clear second
Mm,
runner. Like it could be Norris, it could be Piastri, it could be um, Russell, it could be Hamilton at this point, and it could be Leclerc, it could be Sainz.
yeah, yeah,
It's just too many. It's too bundled up. I think it's going to be very close for second. I don't think it's going to be close for first because this happens too consistent not to be like outside the top five.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And I do think that other teams have closed the gap relatively. I think obviously the type of course that the Canadian Grand Prix is, and when it does rain, you literally get one racing line, and it makes it exciting, but it does
Mm,
change it up a bit.
yeah,
Other tracks don't really get that, even if it rains. Like
yeah.
you do get it dries out quicker for some reason. It seems
Mm.
to anyway. Um, so I don't think so. I don't think there'll be a clear somebody who's pushing Verstappen that close. I think it'll be more they're pushing each other for second.
Fair point. Do you think there's a real title battle for the constructors then? If
Yeah, I mean, if
Perez continues
consistency
to underperform, right?
exactly,
Surely.
exactly, and like both McLarens are getting points, both Mercedes are getting points. So that's all you need. Like, you
Mm,
need a second and a third and a fourth, a second and a fifth. Like
mm,
you're going to get loads of points that way. And yes, I think if Verstappen then has a bad race, they end up getting no points because Perez is shit. Um, then I definitely think they could be a new constructors champion. That's probably the biggest race at the moment.
yeah. I mean, I'm here for it because at the start of the season we were talking about Max winning all 24 races, or Red Bull
Yeah.
at least winning all 24 races. So at least it's a little bit closer together this year, which
I think
is
they said like he won like 50 odd of the last 70 races,
something nuts,
which is
mate.
crazy.
Just nuts. Absolutely bonkers. But yeah, tennis. Floor is yours, mate. Carlos Alcaraz, mate. What a boy.
Yeah, I mean, what a final! And like, he didn't play at his best the whole time. Like, he should have won the third set. Was 5-2 up. Ended up losing it at 7-5. Um, I think yeah, he's just on another level at the moment. Youngest guy to win a slam on all three surfaces.
Amazing, mate.
Um, he's just doing bits. I think Zverev. I'm not a big fan of Zverev, and I didn't want him to win. And also, he has like assault charges on him for like domestic violence and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, it's not
So
looking good for him.
not the
Yeah.
most likable character in the first place. But and everyone was saying like, oh, that this final was all down to there was a line call on a serve that technically was like a millimeter out. Um, so Zverev could have broken back, but I think at the end of the day, it goes to 5 sets. You're 2 sets to one
Mm.
up.
Yeah,
Like you should win.
yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I think at the end of the day, Carlos Alcaraz is just on another level. He hit
He's
some
only
shots in the
21.
last couple of sets. Yeah, he's only 21. He's won 3 Grand Slams, and he doesn't show any sign of stopping. Um, it's quite crazy, really. And yeah, I think he could be the start of this new kind of breed of top players. I think Alcaraz, Sinner. I think
As well.
the fact that he's won a Grand Slam before a lot of these, like Zverev, Tsitsipas, and who's the other one? Somebody else there, but I can't remember who. Like Rublev, maybe. But like never won a Grand Slam. Could never do it in a Grand Slam. I've won loads of other events, but not that. And then Alcaraz and Sinner come out and are starting to win Grand Slams and
Crazy.
just taking control. And like he seems like a really nice guy as well, like really down to earth. They're very much Nadal-esque
Yeah,
figure.
yeah.
The fact that Spain have gone from Nadal to immediately having Alcaraz come in is insane.
It's nuts, isn't it? It's crazy. It is crazy.
So yeah, I think he's definitely winning more. I think if he can win the Australian Open, he'll have the career slam at 21, which is mental stuff.
Crazy. Absolutely
And
crazy. I
apparently
did.
he might be playing doubles at the Olympics with Nadal.
No, surely not.
Yeah.
I'm all for that. That'd be
Mm.
brilliant. If Nadal can, injuries can just chill
Yes.
out, just 1 minute. And like if
Get
his
Carlos to
body,
all the running, it's fine.
yeah. But yeah, there were a couple of viral moments that went like viral on socials um, from that final. Did you see the one where sort of it was like a net sort of hit the top of the net? Sort of
Yeah.
Alcaraz sort of apologized and then he sort of fist pumped and he just panned to like the trophy. It was like, that was like a piece
Yeah.
of cinema, absolute piece of cinema. And the lob shot from Alcaraz, which was one-handed backhand sort of lob in the air, was great,
Slick.
absolutely great. But yeah, what a top player. And as you mentioned as well, Sinner, is he still the new number one after?
Yes.
Yep, still new number
Yeah.
one.
So Sinner's number one, Alcaraz is now number two, and then Djokovic is three.
Fair enough. We'll fly through some quickly, a couple more sports. I just want to mention Northampton Saints because they won the Gallagher Premiership at Twickenham. They beat Bath 25-21. I caught the last 20 minutes, 25 minutes, the final. Intense stuff. And I don't know how Bath survived and played that well with only 14 men for like the
Yeah.
majority of the game as well. I don't think it was Saints. It was probably not their best game, but in the end, they got the job done. They fought and dug it out in sort of the last 10 minutes or so. Did you watch any of that game? Did you see any of it?
I didn't see any of it. I saw the red card on Twitter, and I was surprised. I didn't see the red card until maybe like a few hours after seeing the result, and I didn't realize they were down to 14 men.
Yeah,
That's insane.
absolutely nuts. And the scenes in the Guildhall Market Square where you got married, Sam. Did you see
Oh yeah,
it?
that's where I got married.
It was
Love it.
crazy though. Did you see the amount of people that were like the same
Yeah,
there? Absolutely mental. Yeah, it was good to see. It was good to see in Northampton because quite often we slate our town for being grim and just depressing. But yeah, it was good to see.
they did that bit next to the Guildhall, which is the nicest bit of Northampton.
Yeah, the best part.
Yeah,
But I was saying to family stuff at the weekend, it's just nice to see. Obviously, Cobblers have stayed up in League One. You got the Saints winning the Premiership. You got Steelbacks off to a great start in the Vitality Blast. So things are
yeah,
looking good for Northampton sports. So up the Northampton town.
yeah.
But yeah. Lastly, UFC. We don't know if Connor is fighting or not in a couple of weeks. I please hope that he is. There's been a lot of rumours after he cancelled a press conference in Dublin, whether it's going to go ahead or not. UFC is still posting like promo vids, but we don't know. I'm hoping.
Who knows?
I'm hoping he's there. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up the podcast. Have you got anything else to bring up? Anything of note?
Nothing else to add. Just up to England.
Up the England. And also, right, we have to talk about this a little bit off script, but Eddie Hall fighting two MMA geezers.
Ridiculous. And just absolutely throwing one around and then absolutely just knocking someone out cold with one punch. Like that was insane. And I think he might be fighting. I think he put on his Instagram. He wants to do an MMA fight with Maris Pudzianowski.
The world's strongest man geezer.
Like the guy who won it like 5 times. Like
Yeah,
I remember growing up like watching him, and he after he did World's Strongest Man, he went into MMA.
I've seen some vids. Yeah.
So yeah,
that was crazy. Insane. I think we might have to bring back like Hero of the Week or something because I just saw that. That was brilliant. And also there was a guy that named every single English and Scottish football team and National League level in like 2.5 minutes. Just reeled them off, like from pretty much the top of the country down to the bottom and then back to Scotland, honestly. Absolutely crazy. So yeah, that bloke. Yeah, that pretty much is the end of the podcast. As Sam said, up the England. Even if they get France in the semi-final, still up the England.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, we'll catch you again next time, maybe midway through the tournament with the corridor lads. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, cheers for watching, and we'll catch you again in a bit. See you later.
In a bit.